5 things you didn't know about perfect strangers, next on Retro Serial. Hey everyone, I'm Ian C. and you're watching Retro Serial. Perfect Strangers was a classic fish out of water story meets The Odd Couple, starring, and forgive me for butchering these names, Bronson Pinchot as Balky Barcodamus and Mark Lynn Baker as Larry Appleton. The show follows the adventures of foreigner Balky, who moves to the U.S. from Meatposts to live with his cousin Larry. It showcases Balky hilariously trying to fit into American culture, while level-headed Larry, who is barely able to manage his own affairs, is responsible for educating Balky in American couth. Perfect Strangers ran for an impressive 8 seasons on ABC from 1986 to 1993. And while you may have already known all of that, here are 5 things you may not have known. But before we get to this list, please do me the honor of liking this video, subscribe to the channel. Those 2 things right there mean the world to me. Also, share this on your favorite social media. You can let everybody know about the great content you're receiving right here at Retro Serial. And if you want to know when these things are available, hit that bell notification. If you want to support the show further financially, visit our Patreon page where you'll find 2 levels of support. The Cornflake Club, which is $3 a month, and it's just like a tip jar saying, hey, we like what you're doing over there, keep it up. And then there's the Honeycomb Hideout, where you receive most all videos and most all podcasts at least 1 day in advance. With all that said, let's get to our list. Coming in at number 5, Origins. The TV producers at ABC claimed that the 1984 Olympics was the inspiration of the show. They saw how foreigners who were visiting to participate in the Olympics or watch the Olympics struggled to fit into American culture, and thus the idea of Perfect Strangers was born. However, personally speaking, I have to say that I thought the show was a bit of a ripoff of the stand-up comedian Yakov Smirnoff. Yakov Smirnoff's comedy was about being a Russian and trying to fit into American culture, and I felt that the similarity of Balky being from Meatposts, trying to fit into American culture, was a little similar, so to speak. The producers at ABC don't seem to claim any ties to Yakov Smirnoff, but come on, I have my doubts. Does anybody else have their doubts out there? Does anybody else think that Perfect Strangers was a little bit of a ripoff of Yakov Smirnoff's material? And let me just say, I love Perfect Strangers, by the way. It was one of my favorite shows, but I do have to admit that I think that it was a little bit of a ripoff of Yakov Smirnoff's material. If you agree with me or if you disagree with me, leave that in the comments section below. Coming in at number 4, Louis Anderson almost played Cousin Larry. Yes, in an early pilot of Perfect Strangers, there wasn't Balky and Larry. There was actually Balky and Louis Anderson, who was playing the Larry part. However, in the pilot episode, he wasn't called Larry. He was actually called Cousin Louis, after his real life name. However, the producers of the show thought that the chemistry just didn't quite fit between Balky and Louis, and of all the people who auditioned for the show, they really felt that Mark Lynn Baker was the best choice. So Louis Anderson was let go of the show, and Mark Lynn Baker then played not Cousin Louis, but Cousin Larry. Do you think that was a good choice? Do you think that Louis Anderson would have made a good part of the show? Do you think they did the right thing in letting him go and bringing in Baker? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Coming in at number 3, Meatposts was a politically correct decision. Balky was originally supposed to be from Greece, but the producers thought that the exaggerated misadventures and misunderstandings of the character might be offensive to any region, and therefore they made up a fictional country of Meatposts and decided to use that instead of any real country, let alone the real country of Greece. Do you think that was a good decision? Do you think that staying politically correct and coming up with this fake country of Meatposts was the right decision? Do you think that his exaggerated misadventures would have offended some people from any region, let alone Greece? Let me know in the comments section below. And coming in at number 2, a failed Cousin Oliver attempt. Perfect Strangers attempted to add a child to the cast in season 6. Actress Allison Potter played Tess Holland, who lived upstairs from Larry and Balky. She was intended to be a main character, but she only appeared in one episode. Now, I do have to say that I am not quite sure this was an actual Cousin Oliver attempt. It was in the 6th season, and it still had 2 more seasons to go, and I'm not quite sure what the ratings were in season 6. Must have been pretty good to get another 2 seasons out of it. But whether or not it was a Cousin Oliver attempt or not, you decide, and you let me know in the comments section below. Coming in at number 1, Mark Lynn-Baker couldn't get a job on The Leftovers. The Leftovers is kind of a post-apocalyptic show revolving around the rapture in which millions of people disappear. Well, in this fictional universe, the entire cast of Perfect Strangers is part of this rapture. Mark Lynn-Baker actually auditioned at some point for a role, but he was turned down because in that fictional universe, Mark Lynn-Baker was taken up as part of this rapture and couldn't be on the show. So he missed out on an opportunity to be on The Leftovers because of Perfect Strangers, or because The Leftovers had the cast of Perfect Strangers being taken up in the rapture. I thought that was the most interesting fact. What fact did you think was most interesting? What facts do you know about Perfect Strangers that you think I should have mentioned here in this top 5 list? Leave it in the comments section below. And please remember, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Those 2 things mean the world to us here at Retro Serial. And please share this on your favorite social media. Also, if you are so inclined and you want to know when these things are available, hit the bell notification. And if you want to support the show financially, head on over to our Patreon page where you can donate some of your hard-earned cash so that I can build this YouTube mogul empire. Hey, I'm Ian C. This has been Retro Serial. Thanks for watching. And until we see each other again, stay retro, everyone.